Welcome, wrestling fans. Welcome to Curtain Jerkin. As always, I'm your host, Jacob Grondy, reporting for the Main Event Marks YouTube channel. I also have a Spotify. You can check me out on Apple Music. And I did watch some wrestling this weekend. I put together a car show, took up most of my Saturday, but I was able to sit down Saturday night, catch up with Smackdown, and watch AEW Rampage. Saturday night at 10 o'clock, I mean, that's a weird hour for a wrestling show, but I was tuning in. There's also a Noah show that I think it's happening right now. I'm going to talk about when I do my Raw and Dynamite review. I'm going to Raw live, so tomorrow night I will be in the Greensboro Coliseum for Raw, and it's pretty freaking cool. Going to see Raw, going to see wrestling live is always a lot of fun. I've seen 2 episodes of Smackdown in this arena. I've seen, let me count. I've seen like 6 episodes of Raw in this arena, an episode of Dynamite. So the Greensboro Coliseum, very important to me in my wrestling fandom. But let's dive in to Smackdown. AJ Styles, Edge, and Rey Mysterio. Holy shit, this match is, WrestleMania worthy match, I think, here. This was great. AJ beats AJ to advance. So I think he beat Edge to advance. Makes sense here. AJ is no spring chicken, but Edge and Rey, it's kind of time for them to put over guys like AJ Styles. AJ Styles has had the world title before and everything, but he still kind of needs that rub from the WWE legends, I think. And here he goes. A journeyman like AJ Styles wrestling. Seth, we'll get to it. I jumped the gun a little bit there. We need to talk about Grayson Waller. He appears. Grayson Waller Effect will debut next week. Theory versus Sheamus versus Lashley. The pay-per-view match, but with no Bronson. Sub Sheamus. He's been killing it lately, so that works with me. Lashley busted open. Sheamus hits a bro kick to Theory. Lashley throws out Sheamus. Pins Theory. Just like the Backlash finish, only instead of Bobby, it was Theory. That ate the pin. Or instead of Bronson, it was Theory who ate the pin. And then Bobby Lashley advances. Baron Corbin versus Cameron Grimes from Burlington, North Carolina, just down the road from me. Cameron Grimes with his new cool vest. Baron Corbin says, "You're going to wish you were back in NXT." He had been in NXT in months. He's been waiting to get called up. Bell ring stomp, 1, 2, 3. Cameron Grimes picks up the win in his first match on Smackdown. I can't believe it, man. This is a guy, I think I said it last time, who I was watching PWG DVDs. He was popping up on there, and then all these old heads, old timers were telling me, you got to watch this guy because he was just down the road. They were seeing him at local shows, and here he is on Smackdown about like 8-9 years later. So what a journey for this guy. Really cool to see. Roman and Solo with the Usos out there. Usos, the tag titles will come back to the bloodline, is a quote. And then Roman said, they're going to come back to the bloodline, all right. And Paul Heyman mentions it's going to be Roman and Solo versus Sammy and KO. What a plot twist here. This is pretty cool. This is awesome. What is going to happen here? Are the Usos going to help Roman get the tag titles reluctantly? Are the Usos going to stop Roman from getting the tag titles? Can Roman get the titles without the Usos' help? Sami and Owens are, a pretty solid team. Every twist and turn of this story is great. It's like, the third year of this thing, and it's still doing pretty well. And then he goes, there's a problem. It's not Sami and Kevin. The problem is your brothers, Solo. He's talking to Solo Sikoa, says that. So he's kind of openly insulting the Usos here, and then gets in their face, demands for them to apologize, face washes them like a hockey player, and right as Jimmy's about to kind of maybe swing on Roman, Jay gets in there and apologizes very, I would say, like, angrily apologizes this is well done here, and the live crowd ate it up too. We also have Pretty Deadly from NXT showing up. The Brawling Brutes are just hanging out, about to go to the bar, talking about going to the bar, and then these guys just show up and are just pretty rude to the Brutes for no reason. New guys walking in to a new job, and they're just insulting these guys. Pretty Deadly kind of jerks, I would say, the first episode of SmackDown. Then we go into Bianca Belair, hometown. Hometown. Asuka just comes out and mists her right then and there. People in regular clothes, it looks better when they get misted. I'll say that. I was worried about Asuka going to SmackDown, but it looks like they showcased her quite well on her first night. Just kind of rekindling the feud from WrestleMania. And then we have Lashley versus AJ Styles. Lashley still bleeding from the top of his head. Phenomenal forearm. 1, 2, 3. AJ versus Rollins at Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. 2 weeks away. It seems like it's pretty close from SmackDown or from Backlash, but you go to Puerto Rico, you go to Saudi Arabia, you got a Paris house show in there. You mix up the WWE draft. Things are happening in WWE right now. I know I kind of mentioned that I was in this like WWE or post WrestleMania slump with WWE, but I'm slowly creeping out of that. The great Backlash show, and then this good spectacle in Saudi Arabia should maybe get me fully out of that. And then we go into AEW Rampage, 10 o'clock on a Saturday. Who's watching it? I was watching it. I watched it live. It wasn't that good. This show is going to be dead in the water if they bring that Saturday show in. If they bring the AEW Collision in. They already took away Dark. They already took away Elevation. I would take away this show too if you bring in AEW Collision. This show is already kind of dead to me, and we'll kind of get into that. I didn't mind the matches, but they were just throwaway matches. Like some of them were a new level of throwaway matches for Rampage. QTV, I'm tired of this. I think I held on a little too long. I think I held on a little longer than everybody else. The Guns cut a promo. Ethan Page asked for their help. They were pretty interested. Then the Hardys come out, cutting a promo. Matt's cutting the promo, and Jeff is just spinning a shirt around his head and throws it in the crowd. You can tell he really doesn't give a shit about the story arc of this feud. He didn't even really care when Cassidy got thrown off of scaffolding. But the Guns interrupt, and they challenge the Hardys. Matt Hardy puts a stipulation that if the Hardys win, Ethan Page is under contract to the Hardys, much like Matt Hardy was under contract to the Firm. I would have just pivoted and had a Guns versus Hardys. You don't need to keep doing this this Firm versus Hardys feud. I think it's kind of run its course. I think the Hardy compound match should have been the end of it. That's just what I think. I don't know. I'm boring myself here even thinking about this feud. Is how boring this feud is. But there was 4 big matches on Rampage, and I ranked all 4 of them. Number 4, Toni Storm versus Allison Kay. Cool to see the former NWA Women's Champion Allison Kay out there. Delivers a slick lariat here, but the numbers game is too much. Storm 0, 1, 2, 3. Toni Storm gets the victory. Number 4, Kyle Fletcher and Action Andretti. This is definitely a throwaway match here. What the you have like one half of a New Japan team versus the guy who beat Chris Jericho like 6 months ago. I know Dark is gone, but this is like maybe a Ring of Honor match, maybe a match you do at a house show. I would not have had this match. But what's up with Kyle Fletcher? He beats up Orange Cassidy. He gets a singles match on TV. Where is this coming from? It seems like this happens a lot in AEW, where there will be just one guy who's showcased for 2 weeks. He'll be on every show, and then you just see him kind of go away. Much like Action Andretti. When's the last time we've seen Action Andretti? He beat Chris Jericho. We saw him a bunch. We haven't seen him since. He's coming out with Darius from Top Flight. I didn't know they were kind of teaming up. Maybe I need to start watching Dark or Elevation or something like that. It's cool to see him out there, after WrestleMania weekend. He didn't get injured. It was his brother, but why couldn't this been... where's the other guy from Aussie Open? And, couldn't there be someone that's backstage week after week. That's not Kyle Fletcher that could have gotten this opportunity against Action Andretti. And they could have set up like a storyline because Kyle Fletcher is going to have to go back to Japan here shortly. Anyways, this match was good, bell to bell. Springboard 450 from Action, 1-2 no, pile driver 1-2-3. Kyle Fletcher gets the victory. Solid match. Number 2, the Acclaim versus Kip, Butcher, and Blade. So much like the Guns and the Acclaimed here, AEW doesn't know what to do after you win the titles, and they damn sure don't know what to do after you lose the titles here. I feel like the Acclaimed kind of fell off a cliff here. They don't know what to do with these guys, and I feel like you can say the same about the Guns. It took them like 2 months to come up with a feud to go up against the Hardys. I haven't seen these guys in forever, and then they just kind of pop up out of nowhere on Rampage. It's kind of like Rampage is a show that you wait till the end and you're like, well, who's left? Oh, these guys. Oh, cool. We'll throw these guys in there. Worst mustache ever since Vince McMahon was a funny line, but Butcher has a pretty sick mustache. The crowd chants, "We want Daddy." Very interesting wrestling chant. Hot tag to Billy Gunn. Casher helps him with a springboard dropkick, 1-2 no, but the mic drop 1-2-3. The Acclaimed and Billy Gunn get the victory here. I hope they're heating these guys up for their House of Black. I think that would be a pretty good feud. You got the dark gimmick, you got the pink gimmick. It'll work well. But the best match on Rampage out of all 4 of them, the main event, Swerve and Cage versus Dark Order. Dark Order gimmick is kind of dead in the water. But I think that Reynolds and Johnny Hungry are they're a good team. Johnny Hungry and Brian Cage locking horns. Crowd is dead here. I've noticed this a lot with Rampage. The main event could be good, but the crowd is dead. They've seen too much AEW wrestling. Their mind is just done. They're thinking about what to do when they go home. I don't know how to fix this other than maybe take Rampage away and not have Rampage anymore. But if you're going to continue to do Rampage, you're going to have to come out hot with a main event that people are going to get up for. I mean, Reynolds was trying to hype people up, but people just didn't care. Silver diving, getting caught by Brian Cage. Drill Claw, JML driver at the same damn time. 1-2-3. Embassy attack, Evil Uno after the match. Keith Lee and Dustin Rhodes come out to stop the assault. Chase the Mogul affiliates away, and we got Keith Lee, Dustin Rhodes kind of maybe helping the Dark Order here to go up against Swerve, Cage, and the Embassy here. I mean, they need a few more numbers here, and the Dark Order damn sure aren't doing anything, so I think that might be a ragtag group of faces to go up against the heel Mogul affiliates. We don't know what happened with these other 2 Mogul affiliates guys. They were there, they weren't there, they've moved on. I don't know. I've been a fan of Parker Bordeaux before he was in NXT. It's sad to see him go. Face tats guy, I could take him or leave him. It was pretty interesting to have a guy there. I don't know what happened. Why they decided to say that these guys were not good enough to stand behind Swerve. Why did they pick him and then they took him away? What happened here? I want to know the inner workings of the Mogul affiliates, but I don't know. Might not ever know. Might remain a mystery to me. But what's not a mystery to me is I love pro wrestling. Thanks for listening to the show, guys. As always, fly high. I'm out.